Something in you reacted this morning before you even knew what was happening. Maybe it was a message you received. Maybe it was just a thought that arrived uninvited, and suddenly there was tension. And by the time you noticed it, you were already inside it, already thinking from it, already protecting something. This happens constantly, in the big moments and in the small ones. The way you edit what you say before saying it, the way something in you monitors how you're coming across, the way a certain kind of silence from someone you care about can set off an entire internal weather system within seconds. You didn't build any of that consciously. It just runs. It has always just run. The moments I feel most like myself are often the moments I'm most defended, like clarity and protection arrived at the same time, and I still can't tell which one came first. Whatever is doing all of that, you've never actually stopped to ask what it is. You've named it. You've worked around it. You've tried to manage it. But you've never turned around and demanded it show its face. Dzigar Kongtrül Rinpoche said it like this: "There's a ghost running your house. The bed is made, the tea is ready, everything is in order. But when you open the door to see who's been doing all of this, the room is empty. Go ahead and check. So let's actually look. When you say, 'I'm tired,' where is the I in that? You're pointing at a sensation, a heaviness in the limbs, maybe, a weight behind the eyes. But the sensation isn't you. It comes, it shifts, it leaves. You've had thousands of them, and they've all passed. So if the I is just pointing at a sensation, it can't be found there. Sit with that for a moment. The sensation is real, but the one who says, 'mine,' where exactly is that one? When you say, 'I think,' you're pointing at a thought. But thoughts move. They appear and disappear without asking your permission. The thought that feels most like you right now will be gone in 30 seconds, replaced by another one that also feels like you. So, if the I lives in thought, it lives in something that doesn't stay. And if it doesn't stay, was it ever really you? When you say, 'I'm angry,' you're pointing at a feeling that was triggered, flared, and will eventually subside. The anger feels completely personal in the moment. It feels like you. But you've been angry before and come out the other side still intact. The anger wasn't you. You were just very convinced while it lasted. So maybe the I is deeper than all of that. Maybe it's the one who's aware of all of it. The body, the sensations, the thoughts, the feelings, the witness behind everything. But look at that too. What does the witness look like? What color is it? What shape? Where exactly does it sit? When you turn the attention back on itself, on the one who is supposedly doing all the watching, what do you actually find? This is where it gets strange. Rinpoche wrote that when we search for the ego, really search directly without turning it into a concept, we can't find anything with form or color. We find no solid seat where the I is located. The body changes. The feelings pass. The thoughts dissolve. The awareness that watches has no edges, no address, no face. And yet, something has been running the house. The bed is made. The tea is ready. Every reaction, every fear, every defense, every carefully managed impression, all of it executed with extraordinary precision. But when you open the door to see who's in charge, the room is empty. It's actually a little unsettling. The first time you really sit with it. Because if there's no one there, then who has been suffering? Who has been so afraid? Who has spent years trying to improve, protect, justify, and defend something that can't even be located? If I'm honest, the first time this stopped being philosophy for me and became something more immediate, I didn't feel free. I felt the ground shift slightly, like reaching for a wall in the dark and finding nothing there. And that, Rinpoche suggests, is exactly the right moment to push further. He offers something that sounds simple and lands harder than it should. When the ego mind tightens its grip, when you feel threatened, overwhelmed, reactive, afraid, turn toward it directly. Straighten your posture and demand, "Show me your face," firmly, with genuine curiosity. What Rinpoche observed, and what you can actually verify, is that when the ego mind is directly confronted this way, it cannot produce itself. It cannot step forward and say, "Here I am. This is what I look like." The more directly you face it, the less solid it becomes. The threat was real. The reaction was real. But the one at the center of it, the one it was all supposedly protecting, that one can't show its face, because it was never there in the way you imagined. And here's the paradox that this investigation quietly opens. The ego that seemed most powerful, most capable of generating fear, shame, defensiveness, longing, is also the one that disappears the moment you ask it to account for itself. The thing that controlled everything cannot survive direct attention. So what does that make the control? What does that make all the years of managing, adjusting, protecting? You don't have to answer that. The question is more useful than any answer would be right now. What remains when the ego loses its grip is something more like an open space that was always there, underneath all the movement. A kind of awareness that isn't defending anything, isn't becoming anything, isn't trying to arrive anywhere. The image Rinpoche uses is the sun and the clouds. The clouds don't destroy the sun. They never could. They just move in front of it, and when they thin out, the light was always there. It hadn't gone anywhere. The noise you've been trying to quiet, the one monitoring, editing, defending, reacting, it's covering something that was never broken. And when you stop taking it as solid, stop treating its face as your face, it begins to lose the density that made it feel so permanent. What's left is real. It's the first genuinely quiet thing you've touched in a long time. There's no technique to take from this, no step to complete, only something to notice. Maybe right now, in whatever is moving through you as you listen. Whether that's stillness or restlessness, or the soft hum of a mind that's still trying to find solid ground. The ghost was never the enemy. It was just never examined. And examination, it turns out, is the only thing it couldn't survive. There's more on this channel that continues in the same direction.